Double check that we're over here on the other thingy. Should be live now. YouTube. Awesome. Back with another Supernatural Instinct podcast.
Supernatural.
We gotta get us some music. Oh yeah, there we go. It's live. I was gonna mute the mic. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about UFOs. But first, the last podcast, it kind of got cut off. I was listening to it back and I'd said next time we'll talk about frogs. And I was just messing around. But something kind of a synchronicity happened, which I have to figure out. Let me get that up on the screen. Facebook. And then something else weird happened. Wait, this is the wrong Facebook. I gotta get a whole other thing going. What are you been up to, Austin? Anything weird happened to you?
I've been playing this new Van Halen game.
Anything like Supernatural, though?
Oh, Supernatural. Well, I've been doing nothing. Nothing really. Watched a bunch of creepypastas on stuff about the rake and whatnot.
Let's see if I can show this. How do I do this? This is complicated today. Is that showing? I can't tell if it's showing or not. No, it's not. What am I looking at? Oh, I got it on fucking Chrome only.
Don't show everyone your porn or something.
Let me see if I mute this one.
Like PewDiePie or whatever.
Does that show up? Man, this is a shit start.
Well, you know,
Yes.
most streamers have like a stream will be starting soon, right?
Alright, I'm gonna put this down here so we can see
A
it.
little 15-minute prep.
Because this is this Hellier fan-based recon group. This is some Facebook thing I posted. And this guy's talking about this show Sir No Face and Two Face the Grey. He said it's the Australian version of Hellier, so I watched the first one. And it was like ghost hunters that were in this castle that was supposed to be super scary, but didn't really explain why. And they said, like, started out about like, it wasn't Y2K, it was like 2012 was supposed to be the end of humanity and all that stuff, and he was trying to do like research to figure out if we manifest ghosts with fear or something. And then they just did like some supernatural like ghost hunting stuff, like one at a time, and then they just came out of it and like they didn't prove anything. Like I kind of fell asleep halfway through it, so I don't know if I missed something. Everybody said it kind of revolves around this 10-second clip of this ghost if they think they got a real ghost picture or something. Hey, Bob is on here. You can't join in. But the most interesting part was this guy. He was really scared, and the main guy, he was like putting them all through this really intense stuff. Like the first girl, he made her stay up for like 3 days straight, and then put her into this situation with like the really scary ghost room or whatever. The other guy, he intended on slipping him some acid, or like making him think he was on acid, and then making him go in there and see if he like saw ghosts because he thought he was on acid. Then he ended up telling him like, "Nah, I didn't really put any acid in your stuff. I just blew it." So like, what's the point of this show? Did nothing even happen? But anyway, with the frogs, it was down here. I was just looking through here, right here. The Q Files: The Legend of the Loveland Frogman.
Frogman.
I don't know where Loveland is. Ohio, it says.
Were people fucking frogs there?
Well, remember Alex Jones said they're making the fucking frogs gay? The
Well, that
Q
was a link to, yeah.
Q Files
Yeah, there's
stands
like-
for queer. This is like a queer podcast about frogs.
That's kind of funny.
I don't know why these two pictures here look very similar, but yeah, that's the Frogman. I don't know anything about the Frogman, but it's weird that I said next week we'll talk about frogs, and then there was frogs. And then this guy says Terry Wrist passed away in the Cornwall UFO Research Group. Of course, that's in England, right? So it's not even spelled the same either. So I don't know if this is the same guy that's supposed to have been in the Vietnam tunnel rat guy.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
That's weird.
Now that was a kind of a scary story. I watched all these, like, I don't know if they're exactly creepypastas, but there's these recordings about testimony about aliens and space stuff. But it's almost like spooky. Like on the moon, they found like pyramid structures that they had to go through these like secret. I think that's the real reason they went to the moon was because they found like a pyramid on the moon and some artifacts.
Do we ever talk about the theory that it's like one of the weird flat Earth theories that all of the craters on the moon are actually reflections of the Earth? Because you know how in flat Earth the Earth's supposed to be in that ring with the ice wall around it.
Oh yeah.
So like that.
Yeah.
Our circle is one of the craters on the moon, and then there's other mini worlds around us and other circles that are enclosed with ice. We just haven't gotten to because we haven't flown far enough over it to get to them.
Well, I ended up looking up what I think Bob had put in there. Did you about the invisible energies in that company? Like all I saw in the pictures they linked to just kind of like swirly orbs that float around. It reminded me of you would take a picture with a camera and you didn't do it with the right lighting or something. You'd have like a orb floating here. But the government contracted them to find dark matter or something, right? Those entities, they don't have like our matter, they're dark matter, so they're outside of our spectrum of view. They're always been there.
I've seen a lot of weird things are supposed to be like ghosts. UFOs or ghosts, but it looks really clearly like a camera artifact. Like
yeah, it just looks like that's what it looked like.
Another thing that relates to frogs, surprisingly enough. Oh, I was going to show you that clip from Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch. Remember I told you about the guy that was in a trance and he was supposed to be a skinwalker?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's see.
I don't know if you want to refresh everyone's memory.
I mean, it's near Skinwalker Ranch. But this is the clip. I hope I don't get pulled for this, but it's a real short clip and we're going to be doing fair use commentary on it. Check this out.
I'll stick to what I do, and the more samples we get, we'll have more values that we can plot on your map.
Sorry to interrupt y'all. I've been going through the
this guy has the video
cams, looking at some stuff. You ain't gonna believe this.
Let's see if you're live or not. Are you live?
That's down by Mosby Creek.
Right where Chad's camping?
Right where Chad's camping.
You send me a link
Look at
to
this.
No, I'm watching it. Yeah, it's on my stream.
No, but I'm trying to find your stream. It's showing up for
me. He's going into a
weird
trance.
is that, dude?
Yeah, I think I found it now.
This is a skinwalker.
Got him. Skinwalker, 100% voice. I mean, I would be right there with him. Like, this looks like a skinwalker if there is one.
Good trip, man.
That guy, his family lives not next to where this camera is set up.
You're not gonna believe this.
In a camper. So he's like, he's showing him.
Think he is a skinwalker, or he...
This guy right here. He's going... Like, why would he be doing that?
The noises he's making, it looks like either he's having a seizure or he's autistic. Because I've seen such a weird autistic guys walking around in the woods.
What?
I need to call him.
Yeah.
You've seen this kind of shit?
I've seen that. If you look up, well, I don't know if it would be seen as bullying on here, but if you on your own spare time look up like autistic freakouts and stuff, or like you'll see the same kind of stuff.
That same kind of setup though. Also, he's like, I gotta go. My family's in it. Boom! He takes off. Like,
yep.
Maybe this guy that's supposed to be a skinwalker, he's walking around. He sees the camera. He's like, oh, those fucking crazy guys down there, they're leaving all this skinwalker shit. Let me pretend to be one. And then, well, I don't see how they didn't show the ending of it. Like,
He's got, let's fuck with these guys. That's what it sounds like.
they never show, like, did he turn into a skinwalker? Why wouldn't you show that?
Just act like, should you do that? Like, not you, but what if you dressed up as a skinwalker, went to like one of those cameras in the woods and just started doing weird shit? Or just
And his
not
belt
even
was
dressed
coming
up. He's just,
undone.
he looks like a drunk guy that's about to vomit. Just like,
You know, like in the movies, like the werewolf movies, the werewolf like has to take his belt off, kind of get his shirt off, so he doesn't like Hulk out and rip his shirt off. It kind of looked like he was doing that.
Like, yeah, it does.
Let's see it again.
It sounds like he's making like choking noises. He's that what a skinwalker is? Maybe it's like skinwalker's like a parasite or
Mosby
something.
Creek.
Right where Chad's camping?
Controls
Right where
you
Chad's
like one of those cordyceps.
Look at this.
It's like he's like floating a little bit. Floatiness. Like nobody's even like freaking out. They're just like,
He's going into a
interesting.
trance.
Oh, this man seems to be having like a seizure.
Right there, like his belt's undone. Right?
Yeah, it looks like he's like, what is he coming? Is he coming in his pants? He's like one of those, you've heard of the disorder where the guys can't stop jizzing in their own pants, right?
Oh, that's a whole other supernatural.
Story right there.
I mean, you'd run out of fluid eventually, right? You'd just be.
I guess so. That's why he left. He ran out of fluid.
Okay, so we got the mystery left for our ranch. Okay, now, also something weird happened to me. You know how we were talking about aliens and how they look like owls last time?
Oh yeah.
So I went out, took my dog out to walk her, went around the mailbox, and she gets a hold of something. And it's this fucking thing next to my mailbox. Like, I'm 43 years old. I've never seen like an owl up close.
Yeah, they look kind of weird.
But
Oh, it's
lately I
all-
started seeing some kind of bird of prey or some kind of, maybe a hawk. There was a weird like hawk or falcon or something at work that was killing pigeons. But this
Yeah, they'll do
looks
that.
like an owl. Like, here's another picture.
They usually have the ability for their head to go all the way around, and
This is
I've seen barn owls around here.
But what are the odds?
Owls
Like, I
are
don't see an
fucking-
owl my whole life, and then we start talking about them, and all of a sudden there's owls at my mailbox.
Is it the same picture?
It's the same bird. It's like got the flash on now.
Looks like all its
The
face
head's
is
been
gone.
ripped off.
Yeah. Been disemboweled, it looks
There's
like.
also like a silver or it's a white SUV with two guys in it that were like prowling around next door at the church. Like, I don't know if something's going on. I don't know.
People poaching owls on your property, you think?
Maybe they think I'm going to go down there to the old Hillbridge Road, and they don't want to have their whole operation of.
It would seem like that would be more deliberate.
Yeah.
They'd like have a bird nailed to a tree or something instead of just laying around near your mailbox.
I feel like we're getting. The podcast is just getting better every week. We've got a lot of content already. We've already went through frogs and owls and weird stuff happening.
Well, I was listening to about the Alex Jones thing, and it has some credence. From dumping like our wastewater into the rivers, you get like estrogen from birth control pills, and they found that it's causing like fish to the fish will be all be born as females instead of males because the estrogen like gets into the eggs at the bottom of the creeks. So I don't know how we could fix that, right? Like, you'd have to come up with better filtration systems. Or we're just like, because if you do that, then the whole species is probably going to die out.
Interesting.
But it makes me wonder if we're doing that to ourselves, because if you're drinking, like, you know, if you're big on surviving, right? So we go on the woods.
Oh, I'm big on surviving. I do like to
like doing
survive.
survival stuff, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, when you drink, you use chlorine to clean your water, so you can drink as you don't get parasites or bacteria. That doesn't filter out, like, estrogen and other, like, contaminants in the water, does it?
We don't use it for drinking water, do we? I thought we used, like, fluoride.
Or it's bad for you, though. But I mean, like, it's in the runoffs and stuff, so it's, like, very hard for filtration systems to get it out.
So, last time I talked about this theory that, you know, the trees, or the mountains are trees, and people are mountains, and gold is blood. It comes from this guy, Mud Fossil University.
Oh, so, like, gold is amber in some way? Or, like, the resin of the tree?
I guess. I don't know how he, like, explains it. He kind of scales up really fast, too. Like, this is the guy here. And I don't know which video you want to look at first, because he's got a lot of stuff. He thinks, like, that. I think it's supposed to be a footprint right there. And then, like, where's one for the tree? This one right here. Devil's Tower is like this big
Okay, my friends, Rod again today. Gonna
mountain that he says is a stone.
I can prove it.
He's like got a lot
Yeah,
of
Actually do chemistry.
anatomy
It's
stuff.
absolutely
Petrified tree, right?
100%
Yeah, it's like
certified. Now,
giants walk the earth,
Depth, actually,
which
see
we know is like
outside,
impossible. We think that,
Devil's
but then
Tower, it may be
what if like the
here, because
See, look at that. You know how the Giant's Causeway? Have you ever seen a picture of that? It has those hexagonal rocks. This thing.
oh yeah, it's basalt, right?
Yeah, basalt. So it looks a lot like this honeycomb-looking fiber inside of your tendon. So he thinks that's what those are, like giant
these
tendons.
are there's some that are extremely hexed, and then there's some that are sort of in between. And
So then you compare it to like
these
Giant's
things,
Causeway.
back and forth, every one of them has to be free.
I mean, what are the odds a mountain could push up and keep the striations like that intact?
But you can see what's going on here. That's where it splays out to
I mean, it does kind of make a point.
tendon fibrils,
That looks organic.
blood.
Maybe basalt is some like it's a crystal, right? Well, crystal organic to some degree.
It's supposed to be like a snowflake. You know, it always finds the path of least resistance, and the hexagon's in the most easiest shape to make with the least amount of energy or something.
I think that's wrong. Yeah, fine.
Yeah, and it's like only one around, right? Like you can see it for miles, and it's just
Like this one, this is his most popular video. See, that obviously has been sculpted, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's like an old Roman statue that's partially carved out of the rock.
Or the Titan of Rhodes, whatever. Colossus of Rhodes. I don't know what this is supposed to be. He thinks it's a giant that was petrified.
This is what it looks like. This is a. And all they did was they built.
Sure looks man-made though to me. Like nature usually doesn't like to do square lines, right? Except basalt is a square line. So that's a replica of it or something in a museum. And there's like a
Something.
building inside of it.
There's this thing in the Bible about like there were giants on the earth in those days, so he kind of takes that and runs with it. He also talks
What's
about
it?
Atlantis being in the eye of the Sahara we were talking about.
Well, there's a video there he has where it says Leviathan found in the desert. And there's
Yeah,
all these
see.
giant stone balls.
This is where he gets crazy. He says this hundreds of miles, thousands of miles. I don't know how big the Sahara Desert is, but this whole big area here, he says this is a fish. And that's small compared to the dragon, which is
Oh,
like,
okay. So it just vaguely
Here.
looks like a mouth or something.
I mean, imagine how big something would have to be.
Well,
Like you'd be able
When
to like
I-
reach up and touch the end of the atmosphere if you're like a giant that big.
but I have heard stuff like if something that big was to come through our atmosphere and even tap the planet, it would cause like a nuclear bomb to go off essentially, in the amount of like explosive force and right.
But then he does have a point where like this does kind of look like
But then it's like-
vertebrae. This kind of stuff here. It looks like scales coming off of its back.
Mm.
And why would the formation like go that far too? That ridge line, like why would it keep going with that same pattern? That is suspicious though. He's on to something, but he's not on the. He's half out of his mind also, I think. He says he presented all this at Yale, and they rejected it. Of course, you'd have to. Look how big this dragon will have to be. This is the tail of the dragon. It curves around like this. This is like the legs, I guess. This is the head. Look, the fish is as big as the damn dragon is, if that's a fish. And then the eye of the Sahara is like the fish's eyeball or something.
Let's just go in here to his neck. So if we just
I see what he has there, but it's just like they have found whale skeletons in the desert there, but it's nothing like these things are bigger than mountains. There's nothing.
Yeah, like a mountain is like one dragon scale, and this scale he's
Yeah.
going.
They were all the same scales. I'm not making this.
Because you're looking at an entire continent. So something would have to. How could something be that fucking big and actually eat things? You gotta think about it. If a Leviathan was that huge, it wouldn't have enough food to sustain itself.
I would need cat scales.
Unless something happened in like hypothetically, maybe this stuff does exist. But I like to think about the science aspect of stuff.
I think this is supposed to be a rock that has blood vessels in it. I used to say like it's like getting blood from a stone. Like he's saying like it really is. Like stones are like old giant, petrified giants with blood and vessels and shit. It's a really weird theory.
In our Antarctica, there's a place called the Blood Falls, and it's a waterfall. Just blood comes out of it. It's not actually blood. It's rust from an iron ore vein underground. What?
It's supposed to be toes.
Oh yeah.
See, this is a person. That's how big it is.
And it does look like toes.
Then there's the thing about humans always see patterns and things that they recognize.
I showed all of this.
You know, like bodies always trying to make out faces and stuff.
Yeah, like he takes just a regular old mountain peak that has a face shape and it says, oh, that's a guy. He really goes nuts with it.
Like he
Was that
says,
supposed
like
to be
what?
butt cheeks?
That is it? That's a foot.
It's crazy. Alright. So that's the mud
Oh, look,
fossil.
he's the cave picture that I was telling you about. The cave we talked about last time. Cave biology, world's largest cave explored. Anyway,
Which one?
if anything, if there was any giants to actually live, they would probably live fine inside that fucking giant cave.
Giant fish can't swim. Oh. Yeah, that's another thing you have to explain. Like, this giant dragon and this giant fish. What else are they eating besides those two things? Like, there'd have to be a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Fucking...
No, I understand. Like maybe, if God, created the world in like 12 days or whatever, if God's omnipotent, why can you just create in a second? Maybe he didn't know it at first. He's creating all sorts of shit, and it created like, fuck, this fucking fish is way too big. It's like eating everything.
You know how they say Italy is shaped like a boot? It really was a boot. It was a giant's boot. You know how Florida looks like a dick? It was a giant's dick.
Is that why it's like Florida's, you get Florida people there? It's just like a
Bunch of dicks. Georgia and Alabama's the balls. So, another thing somebody pointed out is that there's this... When was the last time you looked at Area 51 on the map?
It's all blurred out nowadays, isn't it?
I don't know if they keep updating it. I want to go back and look to see, like, if this has been added recently. Because I know, like, there's old pictures of Area 51 where this building right here isn't there. And, like, this building, like, they've been doing some work, Area 51. This is something new they've added recently. And this here, I think this is where they store their biological weapons, because you got these little bunkers, these 3, these 2, which I've seen those at other army bases. You got something going on here. You got some kind of weird, like, mining operation going on here. Like, I don't know if they're looking for something, or they're just quarrying their own, like, rocks or stone or whatever to make their buildings with, so they don't have to, like, ship it in, because you have all this big procedure, I guess, just to get planes to get into Area 51. So maybe it's like they built it here because you can, like, get your own building materials there or something. Maybe they got, like, own company that, like, quarries and, like, makes bricks to make the building.
What you might not know is that, for instance, one of the only industries in my town is a concrete factory, and concrete actually needs a certain gradient of rocks, and it's expensive to get it because you have to use like metal grinders, and it's a long process generally. So what they might be doing is just building their own like concrete plants and whatever they need to be self-sustained. Unless they're preparing for like because with COVID, they might be preparing for the end times, you know?
Yeah. So you got these regular airplane runways like here, and you got some on Groom Lake, these like old deserty ones. I think this is probably just a legit army base that just tests planes and stuff out. But the real weird shit is over here where Bob Lazar said he was taken. Site S1. So here's Papoose Mountain, here's Papoose Lake. If you zoom in down here, see if I can find it again. Yeah, there's a road that comes in the back right here. And right here, there's a turnoff. You can tell like cars have been turning off from this little spot, right? And there's a little thing like right here, like maybe this is that door, bay door that opens up and you go into this. Is that a mountain there? I know it gets higher up over here, but looks like it goes in this way, maybe turns. And then also if you follow this road out, turn off right there. Why? Why would you turn off right there? There's nothing here but mountains.
Yeah, unless there's a bunker or something in there. Because look, there is small little roads. Look at how they dead end.
There's another one right here.
And
Like
if
this
you look
could be
closely, it
something.
looks like there's some little like goat's trail up there.
And then you got this thing, whatever this is. This could be going into the side of the mountain, like this. And then it also looks down to right here. This trail that comes out like this stops right here. This could be one of those ski lifts or something, you know, like a chair lift that goes up from here to here, maybe. Or maybe this just looks down on this. I don't know why. This is all like in the same place. Oh, here's another little spot.
That looks like buildings up there. What is that one?
This one?
No, the other one. It looks like little buildings, you see? Can you zoom in? Little squares next to them. Well, that's on the top of the mountain there, yeah.
It's really weird.
I don't know, like they're hard to make out to see if there's anything there, but
So you can tell the difference between a trail and like this is probably like a rain wash out. It's more like a river shape. But then also, if you go south of Papoose Lake, you have these two black spots right here, and you zoom in on them. Now what the fuck is that? Is that supposed to be water? Or is it the reflection of the snow on the mountain or something that's like turned black instead of white? Is this like the portal to the underworld? Because that seems like it would make more sense.
huh? The portal in there or not?
There's one right there and there's one right here. There's real dark spots. Can't tell what it is. Maybe they nuked it and it opened up a hole. There's a Yucca airstrip right there. That's real close to the portal to the underworld.
Why is that all black? What is that?
That's what I want to know. It's not like anything else around, really. Except maybe...
The one thing I've been wondering is, they doing mining in this area. Didn't they bomb the shit out of that area up over there? Is this
Yeah.
just like...
This is the whole Nellis bombing range. They used to set
All
up
that-
those little fake village, fake towns, you know. Or for Indiana
Yeah,
Jones
spend all our
4,
tax dollars.
You survived the nuke in the refrigerator. This
Yeah.
is the kind of area that this is. This is like all bombing range, bombing range, bombing range, bombing range. This goes on for miles. And even up in further into this. And here's the Sedan crater. I think this is like the big one. Where they dropped the H-bomb or something.
Yeah, look at all the fucking bombs. Like, holy shit. And there's like circles and
Butt wash.
giant...
Teapot crater, scooter crater. This is just testing stuff. We haven't even used that many bombs.
I have heard stories where it was like they weren't testing, they're actually trying to kill something out there, but I don't know.
Area 12, branch post office. So many areas, like... Who are these people? Like, who like, you ever heard anybody like, oh, I work at Area 12? Not Area 51.
They
Area
probably
12.
can't talk about it.
What are these fucking buildings? There's so many, like, weird, random things out here. Like, nobody's allowed to go pretty much north of Mercury here. There's, like, a Indian Springs Air Force Base right here, which is also for Creech Air Force Base. This is really highly locked down. And then if you try to come in from over here on the east, through Roswell. Wait, where's it at? Yeah, right through here. You can get about to right here-ish, and they'll stop you. Or maybe it's like back here. But the guys in the white Ford Raptors will chase you down and shit. And then they've got a bunch of weird stuff on the mountains that are like cameras, infrared cameras, heat vision cameras. And then you can go up to Bald Mountain up here at the top. You can get a good look at Area 51 from like up here. That's about as close as you can get. My plan was, if I was going to raid Area 51, I would come in from maybe the north. Like through here. See these trails? These are really well made trails that go right into it. Nobody ever talks about going through.
Wait, why is that so flat there? Do they like blow the top of the mountain off?
Where? Just out in the desert.
For the south there, I thought I saw like a really flat area.
Groom Lake, probably what you're thinking.
Maybe. Just looked weird. I don't know. Your area, that area, yeah, right there. Is that a lake? Oh.
Yeah, that's Groom Lake.
Okay. I thought that was
That's
a lot of these areas. They look like it's nothing lives out there, right? It's just a nasty desert full of bullshit, and then they just bomb the fuck out of it.
Well, it's like a salt lake. It's like a really flat spot, like over in Bolivia. But anyway, what I wanted to show you was right here. Remember all those little triangular obelisks that started popping up?
Yeah, I saw that was the silvery one, right? There's another one right there. That looks like city-y looking.
It could be a communications tower, but why would you shape it like that? Unless it was to communicate with alien ships. They also have a baseball field, in case you want to get out and play some ball. Sometimes you gotta relax when you're Area 51. It's not quite round, but I don't know. You gotta play baseball sometimes.
I think, don't they have like bases that are also towns or something? Wherever you live on the base and you raise your family there and everything?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you're Area 51, you're probably just going to stay there for a long time. Probably for years, rather than like going back and forth to Las Vegas. But like, there's all kinds of weird shit like around in here. Like, what the hell is this thing? What were they doing out here? If you follow this road north, what is this like random building right here? What is that? What is like this little circle here that looks like a crop circle? What is this? Why is it there? It's like got lines and sections. Chink, 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 chink. Why? Why is it? Why is there a big fucking square that crosses this road?
A crop circle.
With another square in the middle of this. Like, what the fuck? Why is that there? What is these little things on the side of the road in increments? What are they? They're measuring stuff from really high up, looks like. They're making a ruler out of the world. What is this? What is all this? What are all these little stops? Why is there a road that runs parallel to this road? Why did y'all need another road? It's really suspicious, dude. What the fuck is this? This weird pattern. It's like, is this like underground stuff? And this is like the signs that you can see, like what's under the ground. They've been boring down under the ground for years and making, I don't know what the fuck to think about this. It's always bothered me that I don't know this. Anyway, that's about all I want to talk about with Area 51. Mainly, why is there a big obelisk right there?
It's an interesting area. Like, maybe there was an alien base there at one point and we figured it out and we just bombed the ever-loving shit out of them.
Because I remember looking at this a long time ago, and I don't remember this triangular obelisk thing being here. I do remember, like, the black helicopters and Janet jets and all that kind of shit. There's a kind of a tower right here. Doesn't look like an obelisk. Plus it's in the middle of an airfield, so it's probably some kind of a radar tower. I assume, like, they bring out the planes. Maybe they're underground. I figure they like have this hangar, you know, and they taxi it on out there and they fly it around. They bring it on in, they taxi it in this way. And maybe it goes down underground and gets shipped over here to this building, and then they work on it. They try to reverse engineer gravity generators or some shit.
Well, it's just human nature. Like, we shouldn't. I know a lot of people say, why would people do this? Why do they do that? Whenever we play video games, we want to get the highest tier, right? It's like what the government's been fucking doing. You figured out how to dig. Someone crashes on your fucking property with shit like a new car. You're like, well, I guess this is mine now.
Like, the stuff that we know about is pretty mind-boggling. And this is where they have the stuff that we don't know about. It's scary. Like, we have no recourse against the government because they've gone so far ahead of us. But, I guess now we're ready to get into the UFO stuff. Let's just check the chat real quick. Podcast should be called Wild Speculations. Dark spot next to the
That's kind of funny, actually, but...
Anyway, so I was looking up some UFO videos because I wanted to see like which ones do we think seem like the most legit. And I've noticed something about Google now. Remember those ones that the Navy declassified or whatever, the Go Fast one, the one where it kind of tilts on its side. It's almost like those are the only 3 videos that YouTube wants you to see, or Google wants you to see now. Because no matter what I would look for, it would always bring up those videos. And the ones I'm looking for, it's like you can't hardly find them. I started having to use Bing because I couldn't find anything. So let's go back over here and see what we've got. Yeah, like there was this video where this black guy was freaking out about this UFO falling down and then like splitting. So I searched for UFO freakout. And then there's this video. And then there's this one. And then there's that one again. The Go Fast one. And there's that one again, which is also the Go Fast one. And the lock on, there it is again. CNA, U.S. Navy confirms UFO videos are the real deal. Wait, what's this one? Kind of interesting. Anyway, I started keeping a bunch of them on.
It's the doorbell camera video that's raising a lot of questions today. A man walks out of a house, and in an instant, it looks like he's beamed up to outer space. Now the guy in the video is...
Is that not coming through?
I don't hear the audio. Well, I might have muted the stream. Oh, yeah. It's playing now.
Is the video coming through?
The video's coming through.
To tell us what's really going on.
Are you witnessing an alien abduction? A homeowner in Houston walks out his front door, then with a flash of light, vanishes. It appears he's beamed up to outer space. Look again.
Look at this fucking guy. He just teleports.
Were you
He's gone.
I made sure that, you know, I got
He's like, nah, man, that's cool. That's just me fucking around, you know. I like to do that sometimes.
all joking aside.
What camera fucks up like that? I've never seen a camera do that. Where you like fly up into the sky.
it got caught up in the recording, and whoever.
Yeah, it got caught up in the recording. That makes sense. You know how it do when you film some shit, and then it get caught up in the recording, and then your body flies up into space. Well, he just got another black guy to act like he was the guy that did that. Like, what the fuck? What was that video? It was like a Inside Edition is covering it up. Yeah, this one I really want to talk about because this one we have confirmed is not a UFO. So if you see anything like this, I think this is SpaceX maybe, or a Trident missile. But when it does this thing, and it has this big corona around the outside.
Good looking out, man.
Good looking out, man. You noticed the giant fucking missile in the sky. How did you... Okay, look right there at that little spirally shit in the middle, because that is something I've seen on another UFO video before. Where it's like they released a stage of the rocket and it starts spinning around and around, so it makes a spiral. There it goes again, spiraling out. That's the what do you call the side thrusters that change direction and stuff. People freak out about this kind of thing all the time, but it's not a UFO.
I don't think we normally get to see it. It's normally coming out of Vandenberg, right?
It looks pretty cool, like flying through the air like that. That's pretty.
Yeah, I always like seeing big shit in the sky. It always freaks me out. Imagine if you could watch movies in the sky, like projected into the sky or something. It'd be cool. Oh man, there's this one video I was going to put on here as a joke. I don't think I remember to do that though. There's another one. Why do some rocket launches look like that?
This is the Falcon 9 launching from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. This particular launch produced a spectacular display above the California night sky. Rocket launches have always been a fascinating spectacle, but every now and then they produce stunning displays like this.
There's something about the twilight effect. If you film it or you send a rocket out right at twilight. Yeah, he's talking about it.
We're also going to look at what causes this
Like the
effect.
sun is on the other side of the earth, so the sun is reflecting all the stuff really brightly. Even though it's dark on your side where you're seeing it from, the sun right across from you is illuminating it.
As the rocket rises
interesting
out
looking.
of the night sky, it starts to escape the Earth's shadow. The rocket's exhaust plume is then illuminated by the high-altitude sunlight, which hasn't yet been blocked by the Earth. To an observer on the ground, the area around them is in darkness, but the rocket's exhaust plume is illuminated, making it stand out against the dark night sky. As the rocket gets higher and higher, the atmospheric pressure drops, causing the exhaust plume to expand out into a much wider trail. The upper level winds whip the exhaust trail around into a corkscrew.
Oh man, it's a good thing we like. Imagine the government tested this in the sky and people freaked the fuck out. If it wasn't SpaceX.
I think it was the government one time with the Trident missile.
Rocket launches that produce the twilight effect.
Oh, this is the difference between them, or?
Since 1958,
Wasn't there something a while back where somebody thought Korea had launched a nuke at us, or Hawaii?
It was a false alarm triggered or something. I think it was user error, someone who was supposed to actually
Wasn't
operate.
there something that was actually shot down or something?
I don't know.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Look at that. Gas thrusters.
A previous SpaceX launch in 2017 created a similar display in the night sky, which caused many of us to appreciate the beauty of our Earth and remind us of how
Natural effects, everyone. Not a UFO.
If you have any more
Now let's get into the real alien shit. Okay, this is the one I think was the most convincing. This is the black guy freaking out. Oh wait, this isn't the black guy. This is a similar one. It's like a fireball coming down from the sky. And then it splits. Now it's 4. Now it's 6. Now some of them are stopped, and now that one's stopped, and that one keeps going, and now that one stops. Right? Now they start moving in tandem. One of them blinks out. Now 4 of them start moving in tandem.
Wait, those... Where are they?
Some of them are coming back. It's doing all kinds of weird shit. That one's blinking on and off. Why is the people at the baseball stadium not freaking out? I'd be losing my shit if I saw that.
Maybe people are so desensitized with like movies. Unless, like, these people would just stop and stare, and then if that started shooting at them, then they'd probably get up and move.
It almost looks like one ship now. But it obviously can't be because they were all so far apart and moving in different directions earlier. Or is this like the Blue Angels or some shit? Can they do stuff like that? No, that one's like swirling. No, that's not Blue Angel motion. It's like Harry Potter shit. Look how it's moving. It's like zigzagging.
Yeah, unless it's drones and people are fucking with them. With people.
So nobody ever explains what this kind of shit is.
Yeah, I was just like, it was some... Like, the news doesn't really report on it. They're like, oh, is that spooky? Back to...
I guess we'll find out one day when we die or some shit.
Yep.
So, I was thinking about this. Like, if you're aliens, let's say, and you wanted to communicate with people, that looks like an intentional, like, hey, look at me, kind of trying to get your attention kind of a thing. Like, you're used to seeing stuff in the sky, but I want to make sure you know this isn't the normal thing you see, because this is stopping, moving around. Almost like it goes back to that human zoo thing we were talking about. Like, maybe they're tapping on the glass to see if they can get our attention. Like you would a goldfish or something. Like,
yeah, it's like, and then it's like we're not reacting. They're like, humans can see us, right? Like, yes.
They're so stupid. They're not even reacting to our giant lights display in the sky.
I just like pointing and looking, and then they'd be like, be bored with it and walk away.
Can't see what else it could be, though. Why would the aliens come all the way here and then just do some kind of weird maneuver like that? For what purpose?
Probably trying to figure out, like, our defenses. Like, that's usually... Just think about how humans tackle other humans, right?
Yeah, that's another thing. Let's see if they send their own ships to respond to our weird ships, because we obviously made them aware that this is not their ships. And no ships ever, like, respond. They just keep playing baseball.
Yep.
But now let's see what happens when someone does
been trying to communicate us. They're like, oh, maybe they're not intelligent enough. They're like, oh, we'll come back another 20 years.
This is a similar one where somebody does respond.
Look, y'all. Another one.
I didn't put it in the thing. My bad. Hang on. There we go.
Those are aliens. Those are aliens that come in the same area. The same area. Look at that. Those are aliens coming down here, y'all. Look at it's coming down the same direction. Oh, it's breaking up. Oh, it's 6, it's 8, it's 9. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Look at that. Oh, look at that. They stop. They stop. Look at that shit. Those are aliens.
Sorry, I'm trying to record.
World star.
Aliens.
Yeah, it does look pretty weird. Like,
aliens.
Is that
Can
China
this be the
fucking with
other
us?
video from a different angle? Because the other one had 5 and then one of them went out, right?
Y'all need to be shooting that. Y'all need to be shooting this shit right here. They looking at us. They dividing. They dividing them.
That's different.
We getting invaded. Those are not for. Look at that shit. They are sitting. Y'all need to be calling damn news.
Are they talking about firecrackers? I don't think firecrackers can do all that.
They come down to the. Oh, they come to Earth.
No.
They're coming to Earth.
Let's
Oh,
say
they're
how
coming
stupid these
faster.
people are. Like, I want to see
shit.
firecrackers.
Look, they flying towards each other. They flying. Oh my God! Look, they moving in for formation.
We had to attack.
They just standing there.
I should be shooting that shit. Does he mean shooting with a camera or like just shooting
Y'all
guns
not
at
gonna do
it?
nothing.
Quick, go give me the space gun. Is that what he said?
Get me this space gun.
So, you can kind of explain the falling slowly motion with like an M203 flare. Like we used to play DayZ, you could shoot those flares. They go up, they just kind of float down because they're really light material. They light up the area for a long time.
I guess giant fire, but you know, you've seen fireworks too. Like, fireworks peter out pretty quickly. And those flares, yeah, sure they hit in the air, but you could tell that they were flare. These orbs are moving around and stuff.
Yeah, that part you can't explain. Nobody ever does explain. Alright, let's see what else we got. This is New York City. Oh shit! I just remembered the joke what I was gonna do. See, that's a triangle that's flipping around. It looks like it's out of control. That's a real typical shape for UFOs. Is the triangle with 3 lights.
Yeah, it's like it looks like aerial maneuvers and stuff.
Is that something we made? Even if we had something like that, we wouldn't have it in New York City. It would be at Area 51 or in the desert somewhere.
Yeah, unless we're like humans are doing this. That like, look at the let's see what the general public thinks about this weird.
Could be like a
new
kite,
technology.
maybe it got out of control. Just blowing around in the wind. Some kind of weather balloon.
That's what they usually say.
Some kind of
well, that up there actually looks like 2 balloons that are tethered together, bounced around.
Yeah, they're all locked together.
Yeah. Yeah, the wind blows and then they get.
It doesn't look like it's lit up, like it's illuminated.
No, it looks like daytime, and you're looking at yellow balloons in the sky.
Flying controlled. It's just kind of like flopping around.
Yeah, that looks like a bunch of balloons. One there.
How long does it keep doing it? This is like pretty long.
You just
video.
let go of them, and they're going up.
Well, now they're really far apart. One of them is. There's some other shit. Is that UFOs too? This kind of reminds me of the Galactic Federation of Light that I was talking about.
There's another one up there.
Looks a little bit like Orion. So, have you heard of the Phoenix Lights?
Yeah, but I don't remember watching them.
This is like one of the most famous one. Because like the whole city of Phoenix saw it.
It's unexplained mysteries of our time.
It's like a fucking armada just flew over the town. I mean, one thing about UFOs is like, you blame the government for not investigating, but how do you investigate something like this? Like, there's no way to...
You don't really. It's like, and if the government doesn't know what it is, then it means it's like bypassing their radar or something, right? Normally, they'd be able to detect like enemies in their airspace.
You could go around to every possible radar tower or radio wave tower, or like anybody that's observing anything in the sky, and like questioning them all, and like getting all their documents, I guess, and figuring out if anybody has any idea what it is, but like. Not a whole lot.
Then you get to a point where, like, okay, we don't think it's the Chinese, we don't think it's any other country.
Alright, here's the ones that everybody talks about. The ones that always come up no matter what you search. This is the one that's kind of like tilting on its side, I think. Get the audio up.
We're going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
Now, is the UFO moving, or is the plane recording it moving, and it makes it look like the UFO's moving? See, now it looks like it's stopped. Like the clouds behind it were slowing down.
They had this guy on Joe Rogan that was the pilot. He explains how he followed it. He was asking Mission Control about it, and they found it on radar. But he said it didn't have any temperature. See how the center of it's like black?
Yeah.
It was like temperature around it in a halo, but in the center had no temperature, which is like impossible. So.
Huh. I thought you wanted things to like look black when you're in this infrared view. Because I've seen people running around on the ground with this view, and then like they were black and everything else was gray, or you flip it. But then. I think Thunderfoot also talked about the Go Fast one. He says this is a duck. Because the parallax view or whatever, because the plane's moving a certain speed, and then you're seeing the background moving real fast. He says it's not moving that fast, it's just that the way you're looking at it makes it look like it's moving fast.
So it's an illusion.
I don't think it's a duck. I think these are trained observers. You know, they're military people. They've seen ducks before. They wouldn't be like boxing a duck. They would know it's like.
And duck can't fly that fast either, and just doesn't look like a duck.
What happened to it? Like at the end, like did it get away? Did it go into the?
Yeah, they said it shot up vertically into the clouds and disappeared.
Oh yeah, that's very duck-like behavior. So now let's go into space. Let's talk about some of these ones. This one also, I don't remember if it was hard to find or not, but there was this whole group of people that were looking at the pictures of the sun with like the thing covering it up, and you could see the corona of the sun, and they were like studying solar flares. This was big around Planet X Nibiru times. Everybody thought that was coming. It might still be, because I think they did find some kind of like mass that can explain. But this is the one that's like attached to the sun, and it's like sucking the energy out. It looks like it's got these tendrils going into the sun. Like this is a lot of science fiction that has like ships that go near a star and they like refuel onto it, like Stargate, the Galaxy one, like the newest Stargate I think did something like this. They would fly near the corona of a sun, and they would scoop up helium-3 or some kind of gas.
Like, what if the sun is alive? How about that? It sounds like bullshit, but seems like because the sun is just like a chain reaction that creates heat, stabilizes itself.
It's like
whatever that is.
Slow motion explosion of chili with crackers on top.
That looks like a cracker. Then
could it be like a tornado kind of a thing?
I guess so.
But it looks like it flies away. Like maybe this is like it's pulling something in with its gravity, but then it's maybe the sun's sucking energy off of it, and once it gets enough mass, then it has enough to shoot away from the sun.
Look,
there's a
huge.
second one over here. There's
it's
a
part of the
second
sun,
one.
right? Wouldn't that be? Isn't that gigantic?
Yeah, here's a second one doing stuff too. Maybe this is some kind of phenomenon we don't understand. It looks like a tornado, like it's twisting right here. Like this twisting.
Yeah. Well, isn't there like a storm on one of these planets, like Saturn or whatever the fuck? It's been going. Is it Mars or something? There's a storm there on Jupiter or something like that. That's been going on for like 1,000 years or something ridiculous. Why? Like, what's there? Why in this one spot?
Oh, this one has like got a lot of stuff going on. It's. I guess he's zooming in way far because it's like shooting all over the screen. But once he gets it on there, I'm going to pause it and we'll look at it.
It looks like a bubble or something. A lot of this stuff just looks like balloons made out of different bullshit, but that's shiny looking.
It's in Quebec.
Yeah. Looks like a man dressed up in like tinfoil or some one of those spacesuits.
Rocketeer?
Yeah.
Look at that. Looks like a really good microtransaction on PoE. Look at MTX. Look at that. What the fuck is that? It looks like 2 thrusters in the back, 3 green lights, couple of orange lights, kind of like a hull here.
Yeah, now that you pause it, it looks like more mechanical looking.
Kind of looks like what's the one from Star Wars? The ship that the good guys fly around?
Jedi, like jetpack or something?
Oh, the name of the ship. I'm such a not a nerd.
Not sure I didn't.
Knowing that. I think everybody's pissed at me for not knowing. Not the X-wing, but the other one. Not the TIE fighter. That looks like a turtle a little bit. What the fuck is that?
A turtle. A
Is it
rocket
facing
turtle.
this direction? Or is it... I can't tell if it's like what direction it's flying in because the camera keeps shaking. Is it just hovering? Looks like a motorcycle a little bit. Almost kind of shaped angular like that Black Knight satellite. Oh, there's a real good look right there. Could be like a transformer.
Transformers.
Whoa! Now it's like it's separated. That looks like something holding something else. Almost. What the heck? Are we seeing it at a different angle? Like, is it turning?
Oh, now there looks like two people together.
Kind of looks like that gun from Halo. Shoots the needles, the needler.
And the needler flying through the...
You think this is like two people like skydiving? This is 2 minutes.
Oh,
They would have hit the ground by now, right?
Unless they're gliding around, or they look like they have fire shooting out of their backs. Or one has it.
Somebody threw a Christmas tree out of a plane.
Something like that.
Man, that's... I don't know. They're like energizing now. Au revoir. Au revoir. What was he saying? Like, goodbye, UFO.
Oh yeah, now look at that. That's the best image in it.
This one?
At the very end. Very end before it goes to black. It looks better. Look. There. What is that? It's like this, the best. It looks weird.
I don't know how to explain it.
The image, like what?
Oh, there. That's real clear. Well, it almost kind of looks like a really weirdly shaped mylar balloon, and it's reflecting different colors instead of having lights.
Yeah, because the sun would be shining on it, right? Yeah. Is it like a shape? It looks like an N or something. Like what?
Is this a fucking birthday balloon?
Looks like a birthday balloon.
God damn it. That would explain why it's not flying at a certain speed. Like,
it's just floating upwards.
it's a really big, giant, like a, almost looks like that, what do you call it? That little thing from that really viral video. Looks like a horse that is like running the rainbow Chumby or something like that. Man, that is like one of the most stuck in your head songs. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, you like the worm, earworm.
Yeah. I'll look it up later. Anyway.
Yeah, but
Here's
it looks
the one.
like an N, or like you had like "Happy Birthday" in a balloon, but it spelt out all the individual like letters. What the hell is that? Is that a sky whale or something?
Yeah, sky whale. It's a big contrail behind it. And they just never explain it.
Okay,
Not
that
as
looks
airspace names.
strange.
Here's one similar. It's got a big contrail. It's the Chilean UFO. Remember that guy, Secure Team 10? Have you ever seen his videos? I think he might have got taken off YouTube for a while. But then I found 2 different accounts. One of them had no videos, and one of them had like his regular videos. But he's got like a lot of weird YouTube or UFO videos. So this one, I think the battleship is filming it from down below. There's huge contrail behind it. This is almost like evidence of chemtrails.
Oh, that looks like a balloon. Wait, wasn't that? It looks like the shape of that thing that flew through our fucking galaxy recently. That big, the asteroid. They thought that was an UFO, but like.
Yeah, that's actually up here in this video. The Oumuamua.
Okay, there's a little box that like left it. Okay.
This thing. This is the artist's rendition of what it's supposed to look like. And I think they found out a few more of those things.
Yeah, that thing looked like that.
But this is just a contrail. This isn't a solid object. So here it's separated from it.
Yeah.
So it must have been doing a controlled burn or losing some kind of gas for some reason. If you're in a dirigible, don't they have to like vent the gas to like go up? Well, that's a hot air balloon. Dirigibles keep all their gas in them, right? What if it's just rich people like fucking around, seeing what all they can make, they'll fly? That's why the government doesn't know. It's like the government's not involved with some of this, like private citizens making flying vehicles or something.
Like Iron Man.
We got a lot of money that gives away some stupid shit.
We didn't give away our money to stupid stuff, and yeah. Like the government has too many regulations and stuff, and then you have entrepreneurs who are more Elon Musk or
I mean, I guess like, you get in trouble with the FFA. I mean, the FAA, not the FFA. The Future Farmers of America don't give a shit. But the FAA would be all over your ass.
Yeah. Makes you wonder. So, like, if we know that aliens exist and they talk to our government, and the government's like, "Hey, you can do." The aliens are like, "You can do all this stuff, but just trying to rein in your citizens so they don't like." Discover what.
Get out of the zoo. Gotta keep
get out of the zoo. God damn it. It's like maybe that's why the aliens finally showed up. They're like, oh my god, they figured out how to get out of the zoo. Gotta put them back in the zoo. That's often what happens when we, if you think about it, with animals in real life. As soon as animals figure out how to get out of the zoo, we like jump on that shit and try to get them back in the zoo as soon as possible.
You know how they say people are like channeling aliens? Some of these like new agey type ghost hunters, they think they're like talking to aliens through channeling them or like mentally, like psychically talking to aliens.
Yeah, isn't that schizophrenia?
Imagine if you're sitting in your bed one night and all of a sudden you hear a giraffe whispering in your ear, "Hey, get me out of this fucking zoo." Like, what? It's a fucking giraffe talking to me? Like, that would be so weird. Like, are you at Knoxville Zoo or are you at Cincinnati? Where are you? I need to come get you. What are you talking about?
I'll break you out of the zoo.
Oh, man. Let's see what else we got going on. Okay, so the Galactic Federation of Light. This one was hard to Google. Let me just show you. If I type in Galactic Federation of Light. This used to be real easy. President blew his chance with the Galactic Federation. Pops up. That's some game. Aliens, no Trump. Q&A 7. This is like a podcast about it, I guess. But there's no videos of the actual... the video. Look how far I can go down. Like, there's still nothing.
It's like I heard that the stuff like with the Galactic Federation, we need to... They won't let us join because we're like humans are too violent right now. We're like always fighting each other.
See, I don't know if everybody else, they Google this, if they're getting the same results I get, or is my results tailored to what I usually look for or something. And that's why I can't find it. Because then if you go to Bing, let's actually make a new Bing because I think I got the search saved. Galactic Federation of Light Armada, and you get these videos. I still think I'm missing some from like back in the day. I think there was like some really clear ones. But this one is on YouTube, but YouTube won't be able to find it. You have to find it through Bing. YouTube doesn't know what videos it has itself.
Oh, like maybe they blacklisted certain videos in their search algorithm because...
Well, I know they were like censoring things that weren't confirmed to be true. Could that be it? Like alien stuff was like,
probably.
We don't want to spread disinformation or
whatever, yeah.
One guy actually claims to work for this guy. I used to work for the Galactic Federation of Light. He tells you this whole story about how he was psychically like woken up one night.
Had psychic abilities.
Aliens whisper in your head. Freak out.
They could even
it's in your mind right now.
Images into my space.
Holograms.
Every time I see anything like that, it was like, didn't Rick and Morty make fun of the Galactic Federation?
Maybe.
Remember the aliens in the show that wanted to stop him or steal his teleportation powers? He was technology.
I guess I thought it was like a bunch of other Ricks from other dimensions that were after him.
Yeah, that too, but...
So this is basically what it is. It's like a shitload of lights. But there's so many of them, it almost makes it look like a fluid or something, like particles suspended on a liquid or something. Yeah, it's almost like you zoom out, you don't see them, and you zoom in, and then you... Oh, that's shit flying around, that's legit. That's a bunch of
weird
UFOs.
Looking.
We're getting invaded.
Yep, there's like thousands of them.
This 2014? Guadalajara, New Mexico? Like, why wouldn't... Or Mexico. Is it Mexico or New Mexico? It's Mexico, right?
I think so. New Mexico's in America.
This couldn't be like a bunch of school kids released a bunch of Mylar birthday balloons, could it?
I don't know, kind of. Yeah, they look like it a little bit. Because they're not, they just look like they're balloons or bubbles like going up. They're not really zipping around, they're not special shapes. Like, maybe because they look, are they look unassuming on purpose so we don't freak out? They're like, oh, just a circle.
They just want us to know that they're there. We're here if Trump gets out of hand, citizens.
We have come to make you join the Federation even if you don't want to. They're gonna get our trust, and then they're gonna steal our resources, like we did with the Indians.
It would be pretty dope if aliens just showed up and started like running shit. Fuck your government, we're here. You listen to us now. They plan a Stargate in our atmosphere, start bringing other aliens in.
People, there, you know, there's a lot of those. Take my guns away by my cold dead hand types would be all over that. I gotta shoot the aliens. Can't let them take our sovereign rights.
Caden Sims says lanterns, like those Chinese lanterns that you put the little candle in or whatever and it floats.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Fucking thousands of those.
Are they flying like down right now? Is this a swooping aerial maneuver by all of them? Look at that. It's real faint. But if you zoom in,
okay.
That's not no lanterns. Look at that shit. They're flying in formation.
You think they...
Fucking laser beams gonna start coming out?
Oh my god, what's happening? They're gonna take over.
Why would they pick Guadalajara of all places?
I don't know. It's like, maybe they don't... You know, the aliens are looking at us, and they're like, oh, there's several species of this planet. Then eventually they figure out that they're all humans. Like, why are they all look different? It's like, what if all the other aliens look... You know, I never thought about this, really, but what if the aliens have different variations of each other, just like we have?
What do you mean?
Well, there's different variations of humans because of skin type and the way we look, right? But what if aliens...
Oh, I mean like you got the lizard ones, the monkey ones.
No, I meant like of the same race, but just different skin colors. Would the other aliens have something similar to us because they live in different
like racism
climates? Yeah, do they have like we have conquered racism, and until you conquer racism, you won't be able to join the Federation.
We hate these purple fuckers. We're the grays. Fuck
yeah,
purple
like
aliens. Fucking fried chicken eating purple aliens. Fuck these assholes. They love watermelon and fried chicken. We hate it. What? God, come on across the universe and you're still racist? Why? Oh.
That's why they're like, stupid humans, you can't join us until you stop being mean to each other for no reason. Because they know if we're making fun of each other, then we're going to make fun of them for being gray or being purple alien.
Fucking purple aliens can't drive. They're always jamming their ships into Roswell and shit. Oh,
ships in the Roswell.
One thing I thought about was like, you know how they say aliens are from the future, they're us, that just like evolved into being. You know, like there's this movie about like if the sun went supernova or if it had like different kind of radiation, like UV light, we'd have like change our skin to reflect it so we would absorb it and get cancer and stuff, but we'd have to like have hardened skin to get purple and stuff. Yeah. So that would explain like why the aliens look so vastly different from us if they're from the future. And I had this idea that, you know, like in the future, resources run out. Like we don't have enough food. So what you would do is you would shrink the humans, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. So you'd have a bunch of tiny humans, and you keep a few of them regular sized to like be caretakers of all the other race, to like pick the apples and slice it up for us or whatever. Kind of like you're feeding an ant farm, I guess, or whatever. And then...
It sounds like slavery.
No, it sounds like Attack on Titan. Because they always explain those giants running around. Maybe they forgot that they're the caretakers of all the little humans. That's why they lose their...
Or someone's ant farm that just took off. The aliens are coming back, okay. Let's go check the farm. We've been away for like 2,000 years. Holy shit, what have they done? How did they do this?
Like, if you can feed like 100 people on an apple, that's way better than what we currently have, right? Because it's easy to grow.
You'd have to grow like extremely nutrient-dense food, though.
That makes a lot of sense, though. You think about overpopulation. The Earth's too full of humans. You'd still have... It's like when you format your hard drive and you like take all the stuff and you shrink it and you organize it and you make it like you got more space now because we made everybody slightly smaller. And then... few more years, you make everybody slightly smaller, and then like eventually we'll all be tiny little people, like James and the Giant Peach.
Oh yeah, I remember that one movie.
Yeah, fucking like it's a Bug's Life. It's like we're the little bugs, and we got the big humans that pluck us an apple, roll it down, feed New York. It's the Big Apple. Like literally, it's just a big apple. And everybody lives in it. But what if, like, remember Gulliver's Travels? The Lilliputians? And they tied him up?
I don't think I've seen that.
What if that was, like, a true story about a time traveler who went to the future? And, like, they ran out of those caretaker guys, so they tied him down to, like, try to force him to be, like, an apple picker. Or whatever.
An apple picker.
That would be awesome. Anyhow, let's get back to this. There's this thing called the STS-75 tether incident. This is the one, I can't remember exactly how it all planned out. I thought I heard like this tether was 5 miles long. It was on the space station or something. See if we can get some audio from talking. See, this is again looking like a fluid. There's supposed to be UFOs in the background because this thing here extends out for like a really long ways. Now, I think it actually maybe detaches and starts floating free at one point. And then they really swarm around it. This doesn't really prove anything. But it's supposedly from NASA. Is it this one? UFO evidence 300 miles above our atmosphere.
And least of all did I expect to see it on film or tape that had been exposed by the government in a NASA mission.
Well, that's...
Could that be like some kind of particles that they blasted out with the exhaust or something? But why would it be all moving in different directions?
Looks like just stuff floating around in a dish or something.
Well, supposedly it's out in the vacuum of space.
Oh. Magnetism or something?
Maybe it's like X-rays or something, like radiation in the camera?
Manifest to this ultraviolet camera, and they begin moving around, circulating, looking for all world.
Oh, it's the ultraviolet spectrum. Maybe this is what you were talking about, like the things inside the
Bob was talking about
universes that we can't see.
Yeah, they use alternate matter, like a dark matter's version of our matter, so we can't perceive them in our dimension or something.
What can they see? What is it they can see?
Franklin, we see a long line, a couple of star-like things, and a lot of things swimming in the foreground. Can you describe what you're seeing?
Well, the long line is a tether, and there's a little bit of debris that kind of flies with us.
It is like a brilliant white bar. It looks like a neon sign, and it's 12 miles long.
12 miles long.
What that object is?
Yeah, he's saying this thing is 12 miles long.
I don't think that looks natural, unless it's a crystal or something.
When you see them go behind the tether, that means that you can use that tether like a ruler to measure their diameter. And those things that are down there going behind the tether are between 2 and 3
Is that a fucking UFO that's blinking?
He says they're 2 to 3 miles wide, these UFOs.
materialize into the ultraviolet while you watch. You see them come from out of nowhere to the point where they are returning a response to the camera. You also see them dematerialize while you have them under observation. There's 2 of the central things that have gone on with UFOs since day one: materialization and dematerialization. It's going on in this film 300 miles above the Earth, photographed by your government with your astronauts superintending.
With your tax dollars.
Secret, that it was kept secret because I asked him, what are you going to do with this piece of information on this photograph they wanted to get rid of?
This is a fact of the matter. We were really not sure after John flew.
Oh yeah, this is I don't know if this is the same thing. Let's go to STS-80. Wait. See, again, I looked for STS-80 UFO, and it's like, shows me these same fucking UFO videos. Unidentified aerial phenomenon. So this is something right here. It's coming from Earth, shooting straight up. It's flickering on and off. What the hell is that? What's that? Is that the thing that went up? Yeah, look, it's turning.
Oh, is that the Earth?
Yeah. Now it's shooting up. Look how fast that would have to be going. This is the size of the Earth. And now it's shooting that way. It came from Earth. And didn't come from behind, like on an orbit. It went up from like here and went. Yes. That's crazy. What are these things? Is it the ultraviolet things appearing again? What was the one? Remember the one where they were out doing an EVA? It was like really clear, and they would see UFOs, and then they would turn the camera to where you couldn't see it. Like there'd be like live shots of.
Oh yeah, and they were looking at. There's a bunch of that stuff. People see kind of weird shit, and then they turn the camera away from it. Just don't look at it. It doesn't exist anymore.
Again, I searched for a different kind of UFO. If I search for UAP, does that work differently? It was kind of like this video here. It's real similar to this. Action cam. It's so hard to find this stuff anymore. Let's go over here to Bing. NASA turns camera away from UFO. And ISS cam turns off after UFO appears on screen. Like it does this all the time. A lot of people just sit and watch these ISS streams or the one of the sun. I always find it weird shit. UFO right there. Spotted it. And now it's cut to feed. There it comes and cut to feed.
Oh, there's a UFO we can't look at.
Giant space kraken coming over the Earth's horizon. Again, this was on YouTube, but I had to use Bing to find it.
It's being like suppressed.
Oh, I gotta show you this one. UFO Saudi Arabia. Yeah, this one. This is a real convincing one, everybody. This is going to convince you that the UFOs are real. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Okay, here you can see the stairs extending down. There's an alien coming out of the ship. And now it's going to bring the stairs back in. It's going to fold in on itself. And the UFO is going to retract. I'm going to blur the video so you can see that this is all one shot. It's not like in post. And then just shoot something in the sky. It dropped some kind of metal thing first. And then this guy over here, this alien that they just dropped off, he's like, nah, I want to go with the alien ship. And he just zips himself back up into the orbit.
Yeah, but when it flies away, it just looks really fake. It's just like...
What do you mean, Austin? How can you say this looks fake?
When it takes off, everything's good, but why would it even need to take off like it does? Where it just kind of floats there for a second, like, whoop, whoop, gotta get everything steady, and then... Pshh.
You know what Elon Musk said about his Falcon Heavy or whatever it was? You know it's real because it looks so fake. The Tesla car launch.
Is that what he said?
You know it's real ridiculous because it looks so fake, right? I mean, these are Muslims, so that's why it's so blurry. They don't have good cameras over there. I don't know what that means. Oh, this one even has it marked for us. UFO alien.
During Wednesday night, a loud and disturbing noise was heard from the sky.
I'm hearing disturbing noise right now.
The sighting of a blindingly
I'm using a computer to talk and say the words that I have written out on Microsoft Word.
Residents believed it to be a UFO crashing towards Earth since it did not look like a meteor at all. Changing Strela 2 missile at the glowing object. Also,
What is that?
SAM missile. It is a low-altitude air missile with a high explosive warhead and passive infrared homing
That's real
guidance
as fuck right there.
capabilities. The UFO probably didn't see it coming. With just a single shot, The spacecraft was taken down. Unlike a lot
Got
of
him.
speculated UFO crash sites,
One
the
shot, one
exact
kill,
location of
aliens.
This one was immediately found. An aerial photograph was taken from a Saudi helicopter with the location embedded. The location of the crashed site is located in the desert about 220 miles north of the capital. It is still unclear whether the aliens inside the spacecraft were killed, captured, or was hidden from the media to seal the area. Though unknown to some, UFOs have played
That's
an
the same
important
video.
role in the religious and
They're not
media.
going to show the video of the aliens getting out and flying around and shit? That seems really suspect. Oh, here's your Aqua Trigger guy. He's found a UFO.
Jokes about that, finding UFOs all the time.
Got him. UFO in the woods.
I think he just talks about it. Oh.
Is that the top of a grain silo?
Yeah. Got pulled off in a hurricane or something and left there.
What the fuck? Oh damn, this looks legit as fuck. Got him! Why is nobody talking about this?
What's this? Oh.
It's our
It's from a
boys
movie.
out there. This is from a movie? No.
It was that movie was pretty good. I think it was
This
Attack
is
on
Funker 350 or whatever his name is. His videos on YouTube. He's in Iraq.
Oh no, it looks like Attack on Los Angeles or something. It's like aliens came to steal our water or something.
That looks like a lenticular cloud formation. Oh, remember they said they saw that manta ray in the sky? That's what that looks like. Yeah, if you just look up like most real UFO, you get a lot of weird stuff. Most credible real UFO sightings.
Most credible.
Let's see this.
Totally credible.
You've made a hefty claim here.
So the pilots contacted ground control. They wanted to know.
Oh,
This is a
yeah.
UFO. It felt
What's the one from the thumbnail?
exciting. It started to
I did when the thumbnail has nothing to do with the video. Do you remember that one? This is why I had the Microsoft Paint up. I was going to show you this. Let's see. Remember the one? Okay. So there's like a mountain like this, right? And the UFO, I think this was a guy doing a GoPro video. The UFO comes down like this and it goes, it swooshed, did like a Nike swoosh. It went, I can't make it come towards the camera, but it was like, it was coming to like this spot here from like this. It came in like this. Remember that video? It was like a viral video of UFO like swoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
You can't. You not find it anymore? I'm sure there's something on like.
What do you search for? Because I can't find it. It was like a viral video, and now it's like gone.
Internet. The aliens don't like being fucking seen. They're like purging the internet.
Or they get rid of the ones that are real UFOs that they know are real. Like we talked to the aliens, they confirmed this was a real thing. We need to get it off the internet now. But I'm pretty sure it was a GoPro on a drone or something. But I've searched for UFO GoPro drone. Can't find that video anymore. I'm sure a lot of people saw it, unless I'm in one of these Mandela Effect universes that it didn't happen in this one.
Yeah.
You remember,
I remember
it, though, right?
I remember how Mandela Effect do, but I don't know if I've never really watched a lot of these UFO videos you're talking about.
Does anybody in the chat remember it? It was real high definition quality too. And the guy, I think he didn't even see it the first time when he filmed it. Then he was looking back over his footage and he slowed it down. And then he caught it. Just a real short clip, but I can't find that to save my life.
It's like just gone.
Like I always thought, once something's on the internet, it's on there forever. If we can just start removing stuff, I'm going to put all my dick pics out tonight.
And force everyone to see it.
Well, next time I think Bob's going to join us. I don't know why he's been in the chat this whole time, but he couldn't come talk to us. He's got some stuff he wants to talk about. Unless he wants to join us right now. Tell us what's up.
Wow. Just been wondering, like, I've been watching. There's also the ones where, you know how it's like, I know these are fake, but a lot of the stuff we find in the ocean, like people in the past that didn't know what it was, sometimes it's just like whale carcasses and nothing special. But then at other times people find all sorts of weird shit washed up onto the shore after a tsunami. So, do we know if they've ever found anything like actually like mermaidy-ish or spooky looking, other than just like, oh, it's just a big? Because remember when you said, you know, giant squids and that's bullshit. But then we found one, and it's like, oh, now it's not even like. Well, some people might think it's interesting, but for now it's become like so mainstream that it's just kind of like, like I've accepted that krakens exist, basically.
There was
Will
that,
aliens get to that point? We're just like, oh yeah.
Wasn't there a mermaid show on the Discovery Channel for a while or something? Everybody thought it was legit, and they freaked out.
Yeah, there might have been some stuff, but I also saw one documentary explaining how dragons might exist or something too. And
Oh, Lost One says, you ever heard about that thing that sits on your chest when you're sleeping? It wakes you up, but you can't move. I've heard something about that.
The Shadow Man or something? A lot of them have a hat on.
Is it like
sit on your chest?
Like a little voodoo Haitian kind of a thing? Or what am I thinking of?
Every culture seems to have one of these Shadow Men. It's to do with like sleep paralysis or something.
Yeah, maybe it's like something your brain invents because of sleep paralysis.
In Sweden and stuff, like the northern, there's the old hag. She's like kind of like that. She'll sit on your chest and prevent you from breathing. Like,
it doesn't suck your breath out or anything, right?
No, it's like they're sitting on your chest, and it like crushes your chest, and it feels like you can't breathe.
I've never had that happen. I've had a lot of acid reflux, so you'd think I would. Maybe he experienced that.
Most people who get these sleep paralysis, there's videos on YouTube where people talk about their sleep paralysis. I mean, I don't even know how these people get any sleep, because every single night they're terrified to go to sleep. They have these realistic, vivid nightmares. I'm like,
what the fuck is this? Huh. Looks like this UFO got caught in some trees. That's probably a balloon.
Okay. So like, but it looks really weird shaped, and then it goes behind the trees. I can't see it.
What the fuck is that? Tornado with eyes?
Oh, that looks like eyes. Oh, wow, that's like a double tornado. It goes into the sky. Like, it looks like it's stacked on top of itself. That's weird.
Wow, he said it is a hag.
Yeah, I was talking about the hag.
Oh, man. So people have similar sightings of this thing.
Yeah, so multiple different cultures all seem to have, like, the same...
They say if you talk about it, you'll experience it that very night.
I've talked about it. I've watched all these spooky movies, and I've never seen... I don't even have, like... nightmares anymore ever since I was a kid.
Oh, dude, you remember this video? Like, they were shipping it at a certain time of day. Like, the army was shipping one of those UFOs from Area 51. Maybe they were moving it, and somebody caught it. Just a fucking regular shipping company. Like, they got contractors.
Yeah, instead... See, all this stuff, it's like... Yeah, just do it in plain sight, and people will be like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh, this is just a toy.
Maybe the tarp blew off of it.
You'd think you'd put it inside. You'd build a mobile home around it or something, like a fake mobile home, to stick it on the trailer so people wouldn't notice it.
I'm trying to remember what these other UFO videos. Like, can you remember any more UFO sightings that were really legit? I remember one that was really kind of like that, but it was totally like fake. It was like in Haiti.
I don't know if anything recently other than that Federation one you showed me. My mother is really into these. She sees lights out in the woods all the times above our back property, but I don't know if it's UFOs or just like.
This is like totally CGI, right?
Yeah, that looks pretty CGI. Look.
Wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
Huh? That's just weird. Let's go to Secure Team 10. Like, so I tried to search for it. You get Secure Team 10 here. No videos. You go to this one. All kinds of videos. Fucking search does not work for UFOs. It's like, if I go over here to Bing, I go Secure Team 10 UFO compilation. Yeah, there we go. Brings it right up. YouTube can't handle it. There's a lot of these pictures of alien bodies that are just burnt up and dead and crushed.
Like husks. Mummified looking.
You ever wonder like why games will censor things that are not human? Like the titty slingers in PoE. Like if they're demons, even though they got tits, it's not human nudity. So why would you censor it?
What if it had to be really fucked up? Like what if it was just a skeleton with breasts? That'd be censored. The rest of it didn't, but then it was a skeleton of like an animal.
Just like bones and tits and that's it?
Yeah, would that still get censored?
Why would
It's
you
like,
have tits on a skeleton?
I'm just saying, like, how far would you have to go before it's no longer like, is the idea because it's a human breast? If it was like,
if
those titty slingers had flat chests, like, then I don't really care.
People don't want other people getting turned on. It's uncomfortable for them.
Well, there was that thing with the guy posted like a picture of himself that was made out of different nipples. Made like, because it would become like so zoomed out that it become pixels. And, like Facebook's algorithm banned them. Then women who have like breastfeeding tutorials or something get to stay up. So it's
awesome.
like,
Isn't there one? Oh, I'm thinking of the flat Earth thing. You know how sometimes the moon will be like, you can see half of it, but the other half is the same color as the sky? It's
yeah.
Like it blends in, like the same color blue. And then
Yeah.
I have like a star behind the moon where it should be solid, so it kind of proved that the moon was an illusion or a hologram or something.
I wonder if the moon is an illusion. That'd be interesting. The biggest lie in the world.
Of the moon blowing up. moon. Is this video real? Here it is. Saw this at work. Is this real? Wait, is this the same one? No, this isn't it. This one. Oh, it's the different one, but it also looks real as fuck. Like, play that siren shit. Oh.
Yeah, I've seen, not the moon exploding, but I had seen that kind of weird looking.
That's good CGI right there. I enjoy it.
See, nowadays everything is so CGI. Like, I don't know if this is real or not. Some CGI is bad. You're like, It's kind of like, why would you? Back in the days when they did a lot of the original stuff, they did did all those like stop motion with.
I can't find the video. It's so cool though.
Like the Crystal, the movie The Dark Crystal was like one of those. Everything was made out of puppets. It looked like it wasn't CGI, it was all meticulously done.
Why can I not find this? It's so weird. Search out for this. There it is. That's backwards from when I saw it. If that shit happened, like, what would you do?
What, the moon exploding? Well, if that happened, it's gonna rain down to Earth and probably cause like a nuclear winter, right?
I think what you want to do is get under your desk, put your head between your knees, and duck and cover.
I don't know. I think we're so fucked at that point. I'd probably go to the grocery store and start stocking on.
Kiss your ass goodbye.
Alright, well, I guess I should have made the. Like, at this point, anything could happen, so. See, you see people who are preppers and all those people who are crazy. But realistically, like, a fucking meteoroid could hit the fucking planet anytime and cause tons of destruction. Plus, there's a YouTube channel I'm subscribed to called, I think it's called Disaster Porn. So basically, they just show all the natural disasters that the news doesn't show, like, current. Been a lot of, like, 5.4 earthquakes all month in all these different, like, South American countries. And then in India, there was a glacier that ruptured and destroyed, like, an entire town.
There's glaciers in India?
Yeah, up Himalayan mountains, right?
Oh, like Nepal?
Yeah. The glacier ruptured and the water came down and went all the way to the ocean, destroyed everything in its path. Video is pretty intense, actually. It's like there's a dam that gets hit by the wall of water and it can't take the strain. Blows apart.
Did you ever cover any cryptids or anything weird this week, or?
Well, I tried to look up the ones you were talking about, the cryptids that are like these weird water angels, where they kind of look like angels, they're just kind of floating in the water. And now the ones that they've been seen, there's a sunken pyramid off the coast of Japan. They used to let people go up there, but they don't let them go up there anymore. I don't know if you looked into those. A lot of people think that there's these different structures are like sunken alien structures. So there's a one that's like at the bottom of the ocean and it kind of looks like a ship.
I've never heard of that. In Japan, like the, what is it called, the Dragon Sea or something like that? It's supposed to be like another Bermuda Triangle over there.
Yeah.
Dragon Triangle, something like that.
That's what I've heard.
Did you get around to watching Hellier at all?
No.
God damn it.
Completely forgot, actually.
Alright. Well, I guess that's all we got for this week.
Yeah. Others, might have to think, like, if people want to put in chat, like, maybe want us to research or talk about.
Yeah, I think we should have, like, a whole podcast dedicated to certain things, like Bigfoot. Or Mothman.
Like that.
But I don't know if there's enough. I'm sure there's enough stuff for those things.
We talked about a lot of stuff, so I don't know if I want to exhaust everything we have to say in like one podcast.
There was something else I was going to look at. There's something about cryptids I found on Bing, I think. I thought I found it by looking for most real UFO, because there was a bunch of weird shit I found at work.
Spooky shit like ghosts and demons.
Cryptids are creatures
like,
whose existence has not yet
There was
been...
a creepypasta I was looking at, and in was it Africa? They have this hospital was supposed to be like brand new, and then at the end of it they stopped. Like they shut it down and just left everything there. Like thousands and thousands of dollars of equipment just left. And eventually the place got vandalized. They had to get security to keep people out. So eventually some people went in there like trespassing. The place looks like they just dropped everything and just left. So they never talked about how if there was an outbreak, if some sort of disease or anything that would warrant them to just move out. And it seemed kind of creepy. You know, like, a lot of these it was a psych hospital. So a lot of these abandoned psych hospitals, like, did the funding just dry up? Or were they up to some weird shit?
There's one in Louisville, Kentucky, that everybody says is one of the most haunted places on Earth. What's it called? Waverly Hills, I think. But the sanatorium, yeah. Here's the Flatwoods monster. Apparently, this is like the original drawing, I guess.
Eventually crashing on a local farmer's property near a brisk quarter-mile
So they saw a UFO crash.
Ahead, barking
Went out
furiously.
in the woods looking for it.
That nose is burned. Hidden within the mist was a pulsing red light, surrounded by a pointed hood light. A moment later, the thing made a hissing sound and began gliding towards
That's a totally different description than any other alien description, I think.
leading everyone
Yeah, see, that actually looks like an alien. Kind of the idea, like little green men. Like, what was that movie where space aliens invaded and the way we defeated them was like some sound? A song caused their heads to explode. Looks like those things. Mars Attacks, I think it was, maybe?
Oh, yeah, Mars Attacks.
Looks like those little fuckers.
Kind of looks like somebody's grandma. Freaking owls, man. Oh my god, that's creepy.
Yeah, owls are often depicted as being creepy figures.
George Bush worships them.
Yep. More about the owl god. Was it? Is something owls with like? Is it the time god or something? Because he can turn his head all the way around. He can see back in time or something.
I never heard about that.
I'm sure I might be just.
Oh, there was a video I saw of. Remember we were talking about those crawlers or whatever.
Oh yeah, it was right below you. It was like, what is this thing? And then there's that long legs. I tried to look up what I was talking about the other day, but I think it was. It looks like bullshit now. But it was like something that almost looked like puppets with stilt legs, like walking through a guy's field. There was a whole bunch of them. And then there was like some on some houses, crawling around. Then those videos stopped. I don't know if it's a hoax.
What's another word for a crawler? Oh, I think this is it. I think I found it by accident. Yeah, right there. Boom. It looks like a dog or a coyote or something. But then, wait, it didn't slow down. It's supposed to be a slow motion version where you zoom in on it. The legs were way too long.
You can turn it down on your screen. Like in the options, there's speed.
This one right here, demonic dog creature. Look at that. That ain't no dog. That's a person-ish thing.
A person-ish thing.
Look at the ass sticking way up. Could be a monkey. That's a baboon.
Baboon.
Right.
That's a human running across there, but like
skinny western.
Can people like it's human, but if you look up like dog human or human raised by wolves, there's like one that's Scandinavian country. It was like retarded kid was like running around, thought he was a dog, and he was raised by some dogs.
Have we talked about the homunculus?
No, I'm not talking. There was, if anybody has seen it.
If you don't know what it is, basically, a guy jizzes into
that one, yeah, and
fluid with a chicken egg, and he tries to make a human-chicken hybrid.
Oh yeah, that thing. See, I don't know if that's fake, because at one point it gets an eyeball, and then it just looks like at the screen.
Wasn't there like a lot of videos this guy did, and like really long, and he goes through every process?
Yeah.
His mouth and sucks food in as he drops it in the jar. He studies the homunculus and finds that it's a small
Yeah, there we go. See, like.
Like, what if the government, scientists, doctors, they all tell us that species can only interbreed with the same species, but nobody tests this theory. You're not like taking your sperm and like trying to put it with all kinds of different animal eggs to see if it will work. We just assume it won't work because the DNA is so different. But what if some of the DNA can match up? Because there's only 4 what do you call them, acids? Adenine, cytosine, guanine, thymine. And then there's the U one that sometimes appears. So like, how many combinations could 4 things be? Sure, there have to be some segments of DNA that are the same, since we're all kind of evolved from the same line. Oh yeah, there's the eyeball. Like humans have more in common with a fern, I think, than some other things.
But like, the thing that's weird with this thing, his little experiment, is that if anything else grew like a baby or whatever, it would just be a baby. This thing is like, it doesn't resemble anything that the 2 creatures were, but yet it's surviving without like.
Yeah, it's not a chicken or
organs.
man. It's just like a thing.
Yeah.
Does stuff. Oh, that's weird. More active when the water's murky, he said?
Does he talk about the water being murky?
He said it's more active when the water's murky.
Oh, that's weird.
That's crazy. Like, what if just the eyeball of a chicken and a human are close enough in DNA that you could make this thing? Does it have... oh shit, this is getting weird. I don't know what
He's
this
like
is.
looking around. It doesn't seem to have like.
Oh wait, is that a chicken? Does it turn into a
You
chicken?
think it does look like a more one of those, you know, like fake duck chickens, you know, like plastic ones you
It
squeak.
could be like the beak in the middle that's starting to form. Definitely looks a little chickeny if you look at it from the thumbnail. Like this. Looks
Yeah,
like.
it's like chicken's tongue, but the top of its head didn't form or something.
A little bit ducky. Who's this guy?
Maybe CGI and practical effects.
Alright, we're getting off the deep end.
I have seen this before and going, is this fake? Or is it like...
I
it looks
mean,
fake.
I'm sure you have a chicken egg at home somewhere, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to... I don't know if I want to try this, especially with my fucking broken sperm.
Okay.
Because I got disabilities anyway, I'd probably make an even, like, more fucked up chicken.
Alright, your homework for next week is to watch Hellier and make a homunculi that we can study.
It's the project for the week.
I want a super autistic retard homunculus that we can make fun of. Oh, man.
That's awful.
Guess that's it. Tune in next time. What are we talking about next time? I want to make up some random word to see if it appears.